let us test how much KQL we have learned, and also this should prove the point that the readability of KQL is far better than SQL or anything else out there. Let's go. To do that, we're going to use some searches that are here with the login site products. I didn't do this, so if I click here on the save searches, let's take a look at just two. This one. We expand it here. Actually, let me even grab it and go here, and it's a little bit more visible here for us to follow. So there's some comments, and we're going from the events database, the one that has the 12 columns, and we are projecting, these are the columns we're going to be working with, just original time, severity, and user ID. Once we've done that, from it we filter only those events that are 1 hour ago, the severity is greater than 8, and the field user ID is not empty. It's pretty easy. And finally, we group them by user ID. We count the number of events. We call that column events with capital E. And then we sort them by who has the most events. And we take the first 10. Let's actually run it. And when we click onto it, we get what we expect. The top user with the most events in ascending order. Let's take a look at another search. That was very easy, but you see, it's not difficult to do this thing. Let's take a look at one that looks a little bit more complicated. I was looking at this one. Reconnaissance tools detected. Again, let me actually grab this one. And let's bring it here, which is a little easier to visualize. And let's go together to the logic of this. Now, some comments, and start by querying the events all database. But notice that it's only projecting data source name, source IP, user ID, and payload. So we don't need the events all. That's the one that has like 480 or so columns, versus the 12 standard of the events all. In fact, if we run this one, it's going to work, and it's going to find, it should find the events that are, PowerShell, command script, and things are, suspicious that can be reconnaissance tool. But I'm pretty sure this is going to work with the events database, because we're not using anything from the events all. And there's a separate video, of course, that talks about the events all. And this should work the same. Yeah, we see the same results. Now, let's continue on. Once we project all those 4 columns, notice that we are looking from the log source type, which is called data source type name. We're looking for Windows event, from Linux, from HP Unix, Solaris, AIX, and Mac OS, and even the AS400, the iSeries one. Interesting. And we proceed further down to do filtering. So we do the first level filtering here, and then we put it in here. We could have put this as an AND condition there, but for readability, I guess that is better to put everywhere on a dedicated line. So we filter this further and say, well, now we only want that low-level categories that are these 2 numbers. And then we do another filter and say, let's go on the last 24 hours. Didn't we have a filter for some time before? No, we did not. Now, and this is we did a video on the extract command using regex. But in here, what we're doing is that we're adding a column, and we're going to call the column process name 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we make it by going into the payload and running this regex that is going to find that within the payload. And we are looking for these types of suspicious process names. And when we do find them, we put them in the respective column. And then there's another section in here that we are searching for file names. We have 1 and 2, and here's the actual regex. The regex looks complicated. It's not really. I mean, there's also videos that show you how to use regex, how to learn regex in case that you don't know it. But this is performing that search. This tells me that this probably something that someone migrated from AQL searches, so the regex were already there. And then on this one, notice that we are using the C language to lower. Actually, as I mentioned in the introductory video, this KQL was initially written on C++, and so we use we put everything in lowercase to facilitate the regex, and we look for any one of these, right? These or these, and then we do the same thing on process name 3 and there's no 4, but 3 and 5. So again, looks complicated, but in reality it is not.